So nurturing your light, it says, nurturing your light. This is definitely probably going to be a reading for fellow light workers. Hello, hello. Nice to have you. Meditating on how we feel, how we nurture what we feel feeds our light. So we're going to start there. And as I was talking and opening this recording, I pulled 5 cards from the Cosmic Tarot. We have here, I do try to call out every card for y'all, by the way, so you don't miss anything. And I'm doing an intuitive read. I'm not doing any spreads right now. Sometimes I'll work with rows, but I like the free flow style, right? Like water. 9 of Swords in reverse, Justice in reverse, the Star in the center, the Magician in reverse, and 3 of Pentacles. So, for some of you, this is about healing from victim mentalities, karmic lessons, feeling like you can't control your own reality, but doing the work anyways, and most likely doing it with others, collaborating, integrating how you feel about the way you create, shining your light. Just realize the light card is above the star here. Being the light for others, nurturing yourself to find justice. Some of you, learning to nurture yourself is your justice in whatever situation you have going on in your life. Others of you have had to have kind of a time out here to overcome this 9 of Swords energy. This havoc that was wreaked upon you. Some of you have really learned how to nurture your emotional nature. This has made you feel confident enough to shine your light, to share your perspectives with the world. Some of you have experienced some serious injustices in your life. That's why healing is very important here. If we're talking about Pisces and Cancer, they're both very healing energies. I mean, it's when you talk about healing waters, we're talking about these feminine, nurturing energies, right? I'm going to pull some more cards. Let's really get into this. Again, thank you if you happen to still be hanging in. I know a lot of people want quick and dirty tarot these days, but I'm not in the art of peddling crap. Not that that's crap, just that I'm not in this to profit. If I make money, that's awesome. And Ace of Swords just came out, so there you go, confirmation. That is my truth. I speak the truth. I use integrity and discernment, and I certainly hope everyone else here will consider doing the same. Discernment, it's a gift. Some of you had really had to learn how to trust the downloads that you're receiving. I mean, with all this water energy, I'm definitely talking to part of the collective, part of the group in this reading who are higher energetic beings, able to tap into your psychic senses, recognize synchronicities. Perhaps you also share messages for the collective. You understand what you have to really work on to keep sustaining your clear knowing in this world that's all about work and the material, which can very much, when you're too grounded in reality, and I'm not saying not to be grounded, I ground multiple times a day. That's how you anchor in your light, by the way. That's how you're able to channel these kinds of messages. A lot of you already know that. But when you get really like stuck in the 3D, sometimes you forget how to tap into the 5D element. And again, returning to center, nurturing. And the Hanged One can represent meditation, deep contemplation, spiritual quests on an internal level. Cancer is the mother sign of the zodiac, the feeling, and that connects to the nurturing card as well. Some of you, mothering yourself has been very important, learning how to do that. For some of you, shining your light and being seen for the goodness you bring back to the world is part of your wish fulfillment. It's part of your dream, and it's also part of how you shine. This is part of your path. Wow. And Judgment just came out. Speaking of Scorpio, it's all about transformation. Also, it's a time of great judgment, and I don't mean like you're being judged by me or people, you're being judged by the divine. And it could be something to have to do with this Nine of Swords in reverse and the Justice in reverse. Some of you have already come through it. You've already been through this awakening process. Some of you are just starting to and starting to understand you have these psychic abilities and gifts. Others of you, the divine, are trying to find out if you are going to step up to the challenge to purify yourself, to receive your good karma, your justice, being able to transmute the energy of the magician here, and instead of trying to force and manipulate, and that could be through spiritual practice, it could be through your words, it could be through abrasive actions, it could be through power and control with money and material things, especially next to the Three of Pentacles here. You know, there's oftentimes people try to push and control and navigate because it comes from a fear response, and not everybody is quite aware of how that fear response starts. It's somewhere deep in your subconscious, and if you meditate and you reflect and you tap into these downloads you're receiving and really put thought behind it, like the Ace of Swords here, you can start to establish a routine that brings you closer to your inner divine. I'm channeling a little here, so if I go quantum, just hang in there. A lot of you can pick up what I'm putting down. I just pulled the Seven of Pentacles card. Some of you are waiting to see when your manifestations are going to come in, for those of you that work with manifesting. And that could be, you know, on the 5D. I feel like this is going to be a more 5D reading, but it's like some of you are manifesting real world things, like you're putting in the physical effort towards accomplishing something. For example, we could say building a house. We have the Three of Pentacles over here, and it looks like some people building probably a cathedral, possibly the cathedral that's also in the Five of Pentacles. Now I say that because, you know, the thing about the Five of Pentacles card, even though a lot of people fear that card, like, oh, it's a lack, you know, lack mentality, it's being out in the cold, it's suffering, it's poverty. But what a lot of people forget, it's also about being spiritually rich. It's about meeting in the middle between the 3D and the 5D, intertwining both. So your physical action with spiritual attraction, integration, being able to use your mind, your will, your magic, and take physical steps. And also having the emotional intelligence to know when to let go of something, and the discernment here with the Ace of Swords, knowing what to focus on at the right time. that's how you figure out what's worth investing in and what is not with the Seven of Pentacles here. Some of you are looking very hard at what you're creating, and you know, again, this could be actual manifestation work, or it could be working on something like building a house, right? So going back to the Five of Pentacles analogy here, it's like you're building these material expansions with your spiritual foundation. And you're not alone in this. There are many others working on this with you. For some of you, it's kind of hidden and out of sight. I mean, Pisces is also ruled by the Moon card, and so is Cancer. So even though it's not on the table here, I'm sensing this Moon energy, the hidden, the deep, the subconscious, right? Submerging into what spiritually inspires you, because that's going to lead you to material freedom. And understanding the positive transition of the Five of Pentacles, you understand how you can blend as above, so below, right? That is that concept of that law of the universe. Now I also pulled over here the Two of Cups in reverse, and then I pulled the Princess of Wands in reverse. So as I was talking about the house analogy, the Two of Cups in reverse came out. And Two of Cups is about union. And while it is one of the deepest soul bond love cards, I feel like for this particular group that I'm talking to right now, if you resonate, this is about coming into union with spirit, coming into union with yourself. Because if you've been on this journey a while, or you've accomplished this already, you know that when you fall in line with your true self and you allow spirit to encompass you, and whatever spirit is to you, that could be any faith, any denomination. I believe in coexisting. Yeah, okay. So Seven of Swords in reverse. Interesting. It's about not trying to like navigate your spiritual path so hard for some of you in order to accomplish this union with yourself and spirit. But again, when you accomplish this within yourself and with spirit, you are able to accomplish it with another person, which I bet we could transmute the energy of this Two of Cups card, and then it could become a union. And it goes back to the most annoying saying ever of people who are looking for love, specifically for that group, that you gotta love yourself before you can love others, right? It sounds so annoying, right? But you know what? Once you get there, you can't see it any other way, darling. Yeah, Seven of Cups in reverse. That is the end of options. It's the end of having to choose all these other things other than what is important and right in front of you. And some of you have been running away from this with the Seven of Swords in reverse. And if you don't resonate with spirituality, you know, this reading might not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. But if you do, and I suspect that most of you do, you know what it's like to play tug of war with your God, right? You have to make the choice. And even in this card here, the Seven of Cups with this deck, with the Cosmic Tarot, it's a person on their knees leaning forward. They're like grasping the earth, and there's all this chaos around them. And this card very much looks like collapse of illusions. For some people, this is about love. This was about the end of a union. It's possible that was part of your awakening process, was the end of a union that pushed you onto your spiritual path, that helped you awaken. And I feel like some of you, this is a side message, have put a stop to people taking from you all the time. Especially your energy. When you work with energy as a light worker or a healer, or just as a normal person, if people were more aware of the energy exchange that we all have going on all the time, if you were sensitive, you know, most people were sensitive, which we all are. It's a muscle we can all train, by the way. Some of us just have it more than others. You can pick up on these things and really learn how to work with these energies, relying on your guides. And when you pull your energy away from unhealed people, you start walking towards your true self. This Seven of Swords happens to have a person who's walking away from something with swords all over the place. And I've described this card before. This person is holding up their arm as if it's around an imaginary force. And this feminine looking person is looking down like, we got this, right? We're moving towards fulfillment. They're walking towards a full moon. But it's cloudy. There's clouds coming across, which means the storm is clearing, or there's still some things you need to walk through, right? It's not the Ten of Swords, but it's not the Eight of Swords either. And we do have the Nine of Swords in reverse here. So some of you are kind of stuck in your head after having to walk away. Some of you might be very confused in this awakening process, especially with the Seven of Cups in reverse, that, you know, this whole spiritual thing is overwhelming to some of you. And also, I just realized that we have 777 in this reading. Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. Sevens could be an important synchronicity for you. I do try to call out all synchronicities. And then I pull the Princess of Swords. So pay attention. There's something here you need to pay attention to. And it could be your studies for some of you. Advice from Spirit here is to pay attention to where you give your love. And for some of you, this is about self-care and self-love and nurturing yourself, because we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Possibly for some of you, the key to finding love with Spirit is by finding love with yourself. And this is a circular message. I think that really narrows that down there. An Ace of Cups is usually like this divine gift of love, or a big creative project opportunity, like the beginning of emotional fulfillment. And it's something that Spirit's trying to give you. See if we can get a little bit more advice on that. Strength. One more card here. Ten of Cups in reverse. We were just talking about the Ten of Cups. Some of you really need to believe in yourself and believe that it is possible for you to have a Ten of Cups ending. And the Ten of Cups is the ultimate wish fulfillment and the ultimate emotional fulfillment. It's building a life for yourself and others. I mean, that's more Ten of Pentacles, but they coincide in a way, right? Four of Wands in reverse. For some of you, this is about not having a regular spiritual practice, a foundation to really base your beliefs off. So again, going back to the Page of Swords here, it's about paying attention, learning, observing, knowledge, studying. So some of you, in order to build your faith, you need to kind of figure out where your faith is taking you. And if you don't know what your faith is, just studying different spiritual beliefs and trusting your intuition is going to guide you. And the more you trust your intuition, the more that the universe will reveal to you. Okay?